King Vashishta tells Sri Rama to go through the discipline of fasting and so on. Dasharatha calls his son Sri Rama and declares to him, this is what I plan to do tomorrow. And everyone is jubilant. The whole Ayodhya is simply vibrant with exhilarating joy. All the preparations, the festivities, all the lights and sound and whatnot, all the sweet preparations, all the drums playing and all that takes to declare a great event to take place, going to take place. Everyone is so happy. Sri Rama has heard, has been told. He goes straight to his mother, Queen Kausalya, and informs her. Of course, who's not happy? Everyone is happy. And Mother Kausalya, Queen Kausalya, the oldest queen of King Dasharatha, she begins to distribute gifts to the Brahmanas and to all the people. A lot of gifts are being given out. And here we have a major turn of event. What is the turn of event? Well, the turn of event is among all the people in Ayodhya, there was this particular woman, a maid servant lady, who was in the kingdom of Kekeya and who was a caretaker for Kaikeyi. She had come with Kaikeyi from the kingdom of Kekeya to Ayodhya, and being with the family for many, many decades, she was the personal attendant to Queen Kaikeyi. It is said she was a nymph, an apsara. Manthara was an apsara who descended from the higher worlds. Like all the other descendants I mentioned in the last class, like how all the bears and the vanaras descended with Sri Rama, how Shesha Naga took birth, so too this one apsara by the name of Manthara also descends from the higher world. She has a particular role to play. Hey, what is her role? You will see now what is her role. Without Manthara, the turn of events cannot take place. Manthara has gone to the terrace of the palace and seeing this entire Ayodhya in tremendous festivity. Everything is happening so fast. I mean, she looks at this, she wonders what's going on. She asks Queen Kausalya's, the oldest queen's maid servant, hey, what is happening? Why is this queen giving out all these jewels and gifts to so many people, including you? And then that lady says, oh, haven't you heard? Sri Rama's installation is tomorrow morning. He is going to be the crown prince. Manthara gets the shock of her life. She cannot believe her ears because this suddenly she sees there is something spooky here. She sniffs something, some hidden agenda here. And she immediately rushes to Kaikeyi to say what? Well, there is some deceit, there is some foul play going on here. She senses a foul play, so she goes to Kaikeyi and gives her the news. Have you not heard? Have you heard what's happening in Ayodhya? What is happening? Kaikeyi is still fast asleep. Royal, spoiled queen as she was, very close to Raja Dasharatha. Kaikeyi wakes her up and says, get up, Do you know what is happening? There is this deceitful action being taken by King Dasharatha, and Kaikeyi ignores her. What are you talking about? Sri Rama is going to be installed a prince tomorrow. Kaikeyi gets up from her bed and sits so happy, so joyous. Really, what a news you have given me. Oh, what a great morning is today. Here, she takes some jewels and gives her as a gift. Take this necklace. What a wonderful start of the day. It is the best news I have heard. And Kaikeyi, imagine, I don't know whether she really put her hand on her head, but I can imagine her putting her hand on her head. What is going on with this stupid woman? What does she doesn't think, she doesn't understand anything about anything. She is so short-sighted. And Manthara goes on to talk to Kaikeyi. This is the stupidest thing you are doing. She throws away that gift. I don't need your gift. I need some good sense in you. Do you not understand what this means? She says, what does this mean? Sri Rama is the most qualified to become the prince. The most loved child he is of Ayodhya. And we are so happy. What is your problem? And Manthara says, do you know this means? You are going to be a nobody in this palace. All the powers, all the position will belong to the oldest queen, Kausalya, because it will be her son who will be the prince. What will be your position, did you think? And she says, no position? I have all the position. What will happen to Bharata? Bharata will be the eyes of Sri Rama. He will be his hands, his legs. He will be standing with him all the way. Again, Kaikeyi, if I were to imagine Kaikeyi, really, she is unable to convey her thoughts. She tells her, please sit down and listen to me. This is not correct what is happening. Recall the time when Dasharatha was so much enamored by you. When he saw you, he wanted your hand in marriage. He promised your father that his grandson, that's your child, will be the next heir to this throne. He did tell him that, and on that condition your father gave you in marriage to this king. Look what he is doing today. This is not correct. You will become a nobody. I cannot let that happen. Think of what happens in the next generation. Sri Rama's son will become the next king. Bharata and his children will be nobody. They will be second-grade citizens in this palace. Kaikeyi, do you not understand? I am not saying this for my benefit. It is 200% only for you. And thus Manthara began to what? Fill Kaikeyi's ears. This is called the seeds of jealousy. The seeds of jealousy, of matsaryam, jealousy, this is how it begins. When you watch this dialogue between Kaikeyi and Manthara, to begin with, Kaikeyi is opposed to Manthara totally, but as more and more is spoken, Kaikeyi's weak side begins to emerge. And so it is said, what is jealousy? there is a beautiful definition which clearly defines jealousy. Parotkarsham drishtva jayamana santapaha. Jealousy is, well, seeing the qualities of the others, good qualities of the others, seeing success of the other. What happens? My heart burns. One's own heart burns. Because you're able to spot it. Ah, that is jealousy. How do you know? Because I know. I myself experience in me. And so this quality, when you see something good happening to another, your own heart burns, because you feel the other is superior and that you cannot stand. This is one reason for matsarya or jealousy. Another reason for jealousy could be in nature I have where I keep finding fault with others, Always find fault. Somebody makes a mistake and you exaggerate that mistake. We don't say that you don't see it, you see it. Somebody made an error or something went wrong, okay, I acknowledge. But does that mean I have to talk about it to 10 others? But Ammaji, it feels so nice to talk about it. I feel light afterwards. You may feel light afterwards, but understand that which makes you talk or gossip about another is also labeled as jealousy. It is another sign of jealousy to exaggerate faults in other people. Ammaji, if fault is actually there, then of course I will talk. No. Fault is there, it is there, let it be there. It's not in you, and therefore why should you talk? It is in the other person. If I talk means my focus is in that fault. My focus is in highlighting the fault. And that mind which focuses on the fault is the mind which is given to, which has succumbed to jealousy. These are all signs of jealousy to catch within myself. Sometimes I don't need the other to have a fault. I will imagine a lot of faults in the other. Imagining a lot of, somebody makes a face, right? They made a face, and you say, look at this person. She was smiling at me yesterday, right now look, she's frowning at me. She has a problem with me. I'm telling you, Ammaji, she is jealous of me. And I go look at her and I see her struggling, that her sneeze has not come out. She just got cold in the morning. Sometimes the sneeze gets stuck in the nose, it doesn't come out. And then you make all kinds of faces to release that sneeze, right? Sometimes you even put a little matchstick inside to tickle your nose so the sneeze comes out. But this other one, what did she do? She imagined. This imagining fault in another person is coming nothing from one's own insecurity. Well, you find these are all the reasons these are all ways in which one expresses jealousy. And if I have such jealousy, the next question is, hey, what should I do? What should I do? How should I hide it? My question is, why should you hide it? When you have a thorn stuck in your arm, you're going to hide it? You'll put bangles over it to hide it, or you will work to remove it. Some quality that causes disturbance in my heart, why should I hide? And so we have a sadhana for releasing ourselves from this nature of being jealous. What is a sadhana? We call it Pratipaksha Bhavana. Look into a thinking, a thought which is opposite jealousy. First of all, ask where this originates from. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And if you have a problem, remember one fact, that everyone in life has what they have based on their own karma and the result of their karma. If somebody enjoys a bright mind, a brilliance, it's because that's who they were. That's their blueprint. If somebody is dull, it's their blueprint. If somebody is bright in studies and bad in art, it is their blueprint. There are others who are bright in art and talent, but little weak in their cognitive skills. Well, that is their startup blueprint. Each one has their glories and their limitations according to whoever that person is, whatever he is meant to achieve in this world with his good qualities and limitations, he has come into the world and he goes about doing what he needs to do. And so am I. I have my strength, I have my limitations. What is there to exaggerate in another person? Well, Manthara has worked very hard on Kaikeyi. She saw to it that all Kaikeyi's good thoughts of a mother towards Sri Rama was slowly, eventually replaced by hostility. And Kaikeyi feels what a wonderful blessing is Manthara in her life. If it is not for Manthara, what would have happened to me? Kaikeyi begins to think in this manner, and now that she knows, she is very clear what? Something has to be done to stall this installation tomorrow morning. She asks Manthara's help. Hey, what is it I should do? Please help me, tell me what should I do to stall this installation. And Manthara reminds Kaikeyi, you remember that time there was an Asura, a Shambharasura, a very powerful demon, and your king Dasharatha had gone to support Indradeva to vanquish this demon. And during that war, Dasharatha in a weak moment almost lost his life. You were the one who protected him. The chariot was the hub, of the chariot. That spoke was coming off, and you were the one who put your finger, your thumb in there and protected that wheel from coming out so that Dasharatha could continue the fight. You were such a courageous woman. Seeing your courage, seeing what you did, you literally saved his life. He gave you 2 blank checks, remember? He gave you 2 blank checks. This is the time to cash in on those 2 checks. This is one big lesson for us. What? Never ever give a blank check to anybody, okay? He asked you, he was so pleased with you, and he said, my dear, what is it I can do for you? And you said, you don't need anything then. He insisted and said, I give you 2 boons. And you said, we'll see that later. Well, time has come to cash in on those 2 boons. Number 1, ask for Bharata to be crowned prince on this throne. And second, make sure that Sri Rama is exiled for 14 years. It is only if he moves away from Ayodhya, people will accept your son. After 14 years, when he comes back, by the time your son is such a wonderful man, Ayodhya citizens will grow to love him. They will forget about Rama. Even after he returns after 14 years, it won't matter. And therefore, these 2 things you must ask. Kaikeyi is so pleased with Manthara. She has become her savior. And she says, I will do this right away. Do this, but you cannot do this from sitting in the royal palace, in the bedroom where he comes to you to give you this great news. You go to that chamber. Whoever goes to that specific chamber, that special room, that room, it declares what? Some disturbance, deep disturbance in a person. When there is death, they will do that. When they are disturbed, they will do that. Anyway, so here you have this Kaikeyi who goes to this place, to this chamber, to this room. And Dasharatha comes in the evening looking for her. His favorite queen was Kaikeyi, and he doesn't find her in the bedroom. He asks, hey, where is Kaikeyi? She has always waited for me here. And they say, well, she is in that room. Worried, he rushes there. He wants to give her the best news, and there she is, laying on the floor, her jewels strewn all over the place, her hair disheveled, tears in her eyes, looking so pathetic. King Dasharatha is really worried. He sits by her side, he asks her, hey, what happened? Who has hurt you? Who has said anything to you? I never saw you like this. You were such a happy woman. What is it? What is it I can do for you? Please tell me. And she will not speak. Dasharatha is really, really distraught, disturbed. Well, finally, she tells him, well, nobody has really said anything to me. But there is something that only you can do to change my heart. Oh, I will do anything for you, my dear. It is only you who can straighten the situation. I don't know if you will do it. You are so weak-hearted. And Dasharatha promises once again, what? Anything you want, whatever it takes to change your mood, I stand with you. Yet another promise made to deliver something you don't know what is coming in front of you. Never make such mistakes. When somebody says, you promise me you will give me. And you ask, what is it you want? No, you first promise me, then I will tell. Danger zone, okay? Never say yes until they tell you what they want. Otherwise, you can get into a soup like Dasharatha did. She makes him repeat 3 times. Yes, I will do anything for you, Kaikeyi. You know me well. Please speak up. And Kaikeyi reminds him, Once she ensures that he is going to deliver, to execute, she reminds him of that promise and declares what? The two boons, which is rightfully mine and which is for you to execute, accept. These are the two boons I ask. What is that? My son Bharata to become the crown prince and Sri Rama's exile for 14 years. Even hearing that statement, he cannot believe he has heard something like that. It looks to him a dream and he asks her to repeat, what did you say? Am I dreaming? Is this my beloved Kaikeyi asking, what did you say, Kaikeyi? And she repeats, ruthlessly, cruelly she repeats. And listening to this, Dasharatha faints, he falls unconscious. It takes a long time for him to recover. It's already, the night is passing by. And she insists on this. It is something Dasharatha cannot bear. He begs her to ask anything else. Please don't ask me this. Anything else I will do for you. And she says, you already gave your promise. One time 2 blank checks and now 3 times confirmation of the blank check. You have to deliver this. Dasharatha weeps and cries and wails. He goes so far as to fold his hands and beg her. Further, he drops at her feet to plead her. Please don't do this. I cannot live a moment without my child, my son. Sri Rama doesn't deserve this. This is really unfair. I'll give Bharata the throne, but please don't send Sri Rama to the forest. I'm willing to make this change, but not Sri Rama to the forest. No, I will die. We cannot live without him. Kaikeyi is firm like a rock. She has made her decision and she says, I shall ask you 3 times, and if you do not agree, I will lay down my life in front of you. You belong to a lineage where the kings before you, they honored their word, you know. Honoring the word was a very big thing. When you speak a word, you honor it. This is a very beautiful thing in olden days. In every culture, honoring the word was amazing. You know, now no MOU signature and putting it in the court and all. No, you don't need anybody else. You say something and you honor. Kaikeyi tells him, you belong to this great genealogy where the kings honored their word. What are you saying? Dasharatha is helpless. Already it is dawn. Ayodhya is gotten ready for the festival of the crowning. And she says, it's time to call Sri Rama. Sumantra, the charioteer, has come, the minister, and time has come and they don't find, he does not find the king in his usual place. He's afraid what has happened. He comes there and says, well, Sri Rama is getting ready. Shall I call him? And Dasharatha nods his head. Sri Rama has to come. He is brought there. As Sri Rama is brought, Lakshmana comes with him and they are in a different palace, different section of the palace. As they ride their chariot and come, they see all the festivities. Ayodhya is beaming with joy. they reach this palace to meet the father. His father cannot even lift his head and look at his son. Sri Rama bows to, as he would bow a king, but Dasharatha does not lift his head. Sri Rama thinks, what is it I have done? Is my father unhappy with me? Why does he not respond? He asks his mother Kaikeyi, hey, what has happened? Why is my father unhappy with me? And she remains cold and firm and strong and says, he is just afraid that you will not honor this boon that he has given me. He is unable to meet you in the eye. But I will I'll speak for him. And she declares the 2 boons. She declares the 3 times promise at night and says, well, this is something that you need to do to relieve him from his grief. And Sri Rama says, of course, mother, anything my father wants, anything the king asks, whatever it takes to make him happy. Did he not trust me that I would execute his orders? That you had to tell me? Of course I would. And she says, the sooner the better. In fact, the best is if immediately you leave the kingdom. Yes, I will, but please give me a little time to take blessings of my mother Kausalya, to inform my spouse Sita Devi. I will just go and I will return immediately. And well, bowing to them, without any sorrow in his face, or ever willing to listen to his father whom he loved so much, and his mother, well, thus Sri Rama goes to meet his mother Kausalya. Sumantra has heard. Sage Vashishta is standing. The news spreads like wildfire in the palace. When Sri Rama goes to mother, taking the blessings, she is all ready for the coronation. But this news, she says, there is no way I am going to live here. I will come with you, my son. You will take me with you. And he says, no. The duty, the karma, the duty of a wife is with her husband. You have to serve the king. You cannot come with me. Bless me. He goes to Sita Devi. His wife shares all that has happened, informs her, well, Lakshmana is moving with his brother and bubbling with fury. Bubbling with fury. And well, you need to hear the dialogue between Lakshmana and Sri Rama. You need to know what he tells his brother, what needs to be done to those parents called Dasharatha and Kaikeyi. You need to hear what Kausalya had to say. And finally, most beautiful response of Sita Devi. Her wisdom. She is Narayani, remember. If Lord Rama is Narayana, Sita Devi is Narayani herself. And her response to Sri Rama.